back on the Marching to Madness college basketball Zoomcast and podcast with Bob Richey in Greenville, South Carolina with the Furman Paladins, one of the favorites in Southern Conference this year. Coach, welcome back in.
Thanks, kid. Always good to be on.
Oh, yes, sir. And you guys are off to a 3-2 start. You had that huge win over Louisville. You come back with a tough loss to Belmont overtime, a tough one to Navy yesterday. What have you learned about your team, though, so far?
Well, we obviously, have shown that we can play, at a high level, when things are, working out offensively and defensively, mainly, the effort and the connectivity that we need to play with. We've decided to challenge ourselves with a pretty brutal non-conference run here. And, we're, like I said, going to Louisville, going to Belmont, with them being stacked up with 5 seniors, and then coming back at home, played pretty well, 17-point win against Radford, and then, lost a tough one yesterday to Navy that's very well coached, beat Virginia. And so we feel like, we've challenged ourselves against the best. And, we put this in front of us to find out about our group quickly. And we know that, hey, we can play with anybody when things are going well. And but there's a level of consistency that we got to get to. And the Belmont game and the Navy game were completely different. Belmont, we controlled most of the game in terms of the lead, and I think led for 30 minutes, and weren't able to finish. Belmont made a ton of big plays late, and had some old experienced guards that really made some huge plays. And we fouled a 3-point shooter with 10 seconds to go, up 3 in regulation, and let that one get away from us a little bit after being up 6 with 2 to go. Last night, it was a very physical game. And, we got off to a slow start and kind of chased the game the whole time, and, couldn't quite get over the hump. But, this team's got a chance to be really good. And there's no doubt in my mind. I mean, I've seen it this summer. I've seen it this fall. And, we're not going to hang our heads from challenging ourselves against some very, very good competition. We're going to continue to learn. And, we've got some experienced guys, but then Ken, we got a bunch of young guys we're playing too. And we're playing 3 freshmen. We're playing a COVID freshman. We're playing a redshirt sophomore. Those are 5 of our top 9. And so there's still a lot of developing. There's still a lot of learning. And we're going to continue to get better as the season goes on.
You got that big win over Louisville. It snapped their 59-game winning streak in November, and they were 46-0 at the Yum Center in November. So you made history. I was curious, when you look at that game, what were you able to do in the Louisville game that maybe you didn't do against Belmont and Navy?
I think that was, in my opinion, our most complete defensive game, from horn to buzzer, just really, being fundamental, just sitting in the stance, being active on the ball, keeping the ball in front, keeping the ball out of the paint. We out-rebounded Louisville, which we were not able to do. We were not able to out-rebound Belmont or Navy. And, Louisville had probably a little bit more size than both of them, and it was just a concerted effort to really do a good job on the backboards. And we got out-rebounded by 9 last night, and we got out-rebounded by 1 at Belmont. And so that's an area where we're going to have to continue to figure that out. And, the backboard is a big game within the game, as we all know. And so for us to go in there at Louisville and out-rebound them was a huge deal for us, and was something that we've kind of been working on, and it's slipped a little bit here lately, and we got to get back to it. But it was just one of those games where, to be honest with you, Ken, it wasn't a lot different than the Belmont game in terms of the feel and the flow of it. It was a very close game that was a possession ball game that went in overtime, and we came out on the good side of it. And the Belmont game was a high-level college basketball game on the road, big-time environment, 1 possession game, went to overtime, and we fell on the wrong side of it. And so, it's how these things work, man. This stuff is small margins, and you'll see that all over the country. There's just, you watch games, and most games are decided by 2 or 3 possessions.
Yeah, and it seems like it's been more so this year. I've been watching early here, of course, and every night, I mean, is some upset, kind of as usual. And then, like you say, you're talking about 2 or 3 possessions. even in teams that, you turn on that TV and you just don't expect them to challenge.
Yeah, I mean, every game stands on its own 2 feet. I've always been a believer in that. And, the key to the non-conference is to figure out what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, and what are the areas that you have to improve on. And, we have a lot of well dones on this group right now that there's some things that we're doing well that we're trying to, we've been trying to emphasize, but there's also some pretty obvious areas of improvement that we've got to address. And that's the best part about challenging yourself. You could play some different opponents, and we could play some non-ones and different things like that and schedule a little bit easier. We just wouldn't get that. We wouldn't get that reality as fast, right? We wouldn't be able to see the things that we've got to focus on and be able to spend the time necessary to focus on them. So, I think this could really help us. I really do. I think that, in the long run, I think once we get in the middle of league play, we're gonna look back on this and be glad that we did this.
Mike Bothwell is performing at a tremendous level as you have 5 Paladins averaging in double figures. He's getting 19.4 points per game. He shoots 39.1% from 3. Just discuss his season so far and how he's been such a catalyst for you.
Yeah, Mike's really worked as hard this offseason to iron out his perimeter shot. And, we've been able to play him, at the 2 and also at the 1, and, put the ball in his hands, at times as well. And so he's really trying to be, he's always been a great finisher. He's somebody that can really use his body to his advantage and get leverage and finish around the basket. And, at times his 3-point shot wasn't as consistent as he would like it to be late in the year last year. And that was his area of growth this offseason. He's really come out shooting the ball well. I had a cold shoot night last night going 0 for 5, which was, everybody's going to have one of those. But at Louisville, we had 30. He played well in the Belmont game, played well in the Radford game. And, he's somebody he's going to continue to have a great year. I've got a lot of confidence in him. He's great. He's a great person and great worker and understands how to play winning basketball.
You've got Alex Hunter, who is another guy that's must-see TV, and Jalen Slawson. They're averaging an identical 14.8 points per game, but Hunter is amazing with that 3 ball. He's 20 of 38 here in 5 games.
Yeah, another guy that's just in the gym all the time. And, just that's a common thing with great shooters. They always shoot. And he's constantly working on that, and he's put in the work. He's an older player. And, we've really benefited from his experience. And then, Jalen Slawson has probably made our biggest jump from last year to this year in terms of just his offensive versatility, going from about 7 points a game to, like you said, close to 15. So he's almost doubled his point production. And, had 20 last night, played really well. And somebody that, his versatility, his ability to really be able to, score the back to the basket, score facing the basket, drive. He's also been able to step out and make perimeter shots. It's going to be exciting to continue to watch his development. But those 3 guys, and you add in Conley Garrison as the graduate transfer, they're the old experienced group. And, most nights, they're going to carry a lot of the scoring load for us. They don't all have to go get 20. The biggest thing is they play together and they trust movement. And, the open guy's the go-to guy, and, really, really trust each other and trust the movement, trust the concepts. And as long as we're able to do that, you take last night out. I mean, we've been averaging a pretty high volume of points, and it could be a really exciting offense if they all choose to play connected and work for one another to get great looks.
I was just going to mention that. I know you're averaging 86 points a game, I think, and also, in addition to Conley Garrison coming in, Garrett Heim is also off to a good start. Both players averaging, I think, around 11 a game. How are these 2 making a difference for you?
Which 2? You said Garrett and which one?
Garrett and Conley.
Yep, yeah, Garrett Conley. Conley's kind of a glue player. He's got a high level of toughness, and he's one of those guys that he knows how to make shots, but he also knows how to play the game. He can anticipate plays really on both ends of the floor, and just it has incredible feel for the game. Garrett's somebody, again, he's growing up before our eyes quite nicely, and played really, really well in that Louisville game. And just a COVID freshman, He's, very skilled, good passer. He can see the floor. And, he's also worked on being able to step out a little bit and shoot the ball from the edges some. So, having 5 guys on the court at one time that can dribble, pass, and shoot, is a big deal for us. And, these guys have put in the work this offseason to be able to make some of these jumps. And I'm excited to see how they're going to continue to develop as the year goes on.
Yeah, looking at the analytics, you guys are in the top quarter of the nation in effective field goal percentage. So I think that plays off what we're talking about, with the 5 players averaging in double figures and the connectivity you have to assert that in averaging 86 points a game.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's easy to guard one guy. It's really hard to guard
Yeah.
5 guys. And that's if you're putting a scouting report together and you got to guard 1 or 2 guys, that's doable, from a scheme standpoint. But when all 5 guys are threats and the ball's moving and there's constant motion and you're trusting one another, then you're going to be able to get good looks. You're going to be able to get assisted threes and unaffected twos and free throws. And that's the key, right? You got to, like they say in golf, you got to let the club do the work, and that's kind of how we want to play offense. You got to let the club do the work. And when you start really trying to, smash it or really trying to, go get yours and manipulate it for yourself, that's when things can get a little sticky. But so far, these guys, our assist numbers, even last night, I mean, we had 26 baskets, 20 were assisted. And, we got to continue to trust one another like we've done these first 5 games.
The Southern Conference is already up to number 13 in the nation as a conference out of the 33, according to Ken Palm. And I'm just curious, what are you seeing so far from the league that's making it this deep?
Really nothing new that we haven't seen. It's just starting to get more attention because we've been able to sustain it. I mean, this has been pretty standard the last 4 or 5 years, to be honest with you. The league's been incredible. And, it's starting to get some attention. And, with some of the non-conference wins that you're seeing in the league, Chattanooga just knocked off VCU, Sanford knocked off Oregon State, and, Citadel knocked off Pitt. We beat Louisville. I mean, there's been some really, really good wins to start, the early conference play. And there's great programs. There's great continuity. There's a lot of tradition in this league. It's a really, really good league. It's with the analytic numbers and, the SoCon not having the budget to buy a bunch of games and us having to go on the road and play money games. And, the non-1 games don't count the numbers, but yet the high majors, they play the money games and all those numbers count. The efficiencies can get a little bit distorted, and then all of a sudden you lock in the league. But hopefully with us continuing to get some of these big wins, the numbers that we all lock into once we get to conference play, won't be as low as what they typically are. And, we'll garner some more attention, from the media and from college basketball, the quality of basketball in this league.
Last thing, Coach, college basketball is off to a great start. We were talking about how competitive the games are, et cetera. What do you think might be 1 or 2 of the key themes for the season across the country?
I think that, that's a great question. With just watching games so far, it seems like there's a lot of parity. Seems like there's a lot of, I think one of the big themes are going to be, with all the transitions and transfers and, the new collection of players on different rosters, just, how quick teams are going to come together, and it's not always the accumulation of talent. It's really how does a team fit together? And I think that's, you look at some of these scores and, I think connectivity and guys that are used to one another and older teams that have been with each other for a little while and that have continuity. I think there's more value than that than what people are realizing, in my opinion. And there's a lot of roster movement, and it's going to be interesting to see just how it goes on through the course of the season, how it's all managed, especially with this. College basketball has never been deeper because of the COVID situation and everybody getting their scholarship back. And then college basketball has never been older. But also college basketball has never been in this much transition. And so, when you look at all those elements and all those moving parts, with the depth, with the age, with the transfers, how's all this going to fit? I think that's going to be really interesting as we go through the year.
Coach Bob Richey of the Furman Paladins, definitely a contender for the SoCon. Coach, it's great talking to you. I hope you guys have a great season. I look forward to seeing you on down the road somewhere.
Sounds great, Ken. Appreciate your time and have a great day.
Yeah, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.